In this video, we plunge into the unforgiving world of clay court tennis, uncover the hidden economics and mind games of Roland Garros, revisit the legends made and broken on its crimson surface, and finally unravel the incredible story of the man behind the name, a hero of the skies, not the court. They call it the most brutal tournament in tennis. Not because of the players, not because of the fans, but because of the surface. Clay is slower, heavier, unforgiving, unpredictable. This surface transforms speed into resistance, precision into patience. Here, champions are either immortalized or crushed. And here's what almost no one knows. The name emblazoned on the stadium? He never lifted a racket. This is the story of Roland Garros. The tournament, the mystery, and the man behind the myth. Shadows of uncertainty, roaring crowds, dust swirling like fate. Welcome to Roland Garros, where the surface is the adversary. Of the 4 Grand Slams, only one unfolds on red clay. And that changes everything. Players call it Hell Week, but it drags on for 2. Endless rallies, burning thighs, mental collapse. Every shot must be built, every point crafted. You don't just beat opponents here, you endure them. Bjorn Borg once said clay rewards patience but punishes doubt. I lost matches on clay not because I couldn't out-hit them, but because I hesitated, he admitted. One slip, one second guess, and it's over. Even the weather conspires against you. Rain turns the court to sludge. Sun bakes it into dust. And that transition from firm to fickle, it can happen mid-set. Court maintenance crews scramble, dragging heavy harrows, brushing, watering. Yet even freshly moisture-washed clay never forgives inaccuracy. This is not a tennis match. It's a crucible. And the unpredictability adds a unique layer of drama. Some days the court favors grinders grinding under relentless sun. Other days it neutralizes even the most aggressive styles with slow skid and awkward bounce. Each match is like a different planet. No player ever enters with a guarantee. Clay is like a puzzle. With each bounce, condition, drop of dew, it changes. The surface forces adaptation or elimination. And even veterans like Federer or Djokovic had to learn the hard way. Clay is a language, and not everyone is fluent. Why endure this red battlefield that chews up bodies and dreams? Because there's money. In 2024, Roland Garros offered a total prize pool of 53 million euros. Lightning strikes for those reaching later rounds, €500,000 or more. But only a small fraction, top 10%, see that kind of cash. For the rest, it's a gamble. Accountants, hotels, stringing services, physiotherapists, coaches per diems, visa fees. One bad draw, one bad day, one misstep, and earnings vanish. Yet, imagine pulling off an upset in round 3. Suddenly sponsors call, endorsements materialize, career trajectory shifts. A single clay season giant killing sets you up for the year. It's risk versus reward in brutal form. Meanwhile, the French Tennis Federation, organizer and landlord, profits at every stage. Broadcast rights, global television contracts, hospitality packages, merchandise, corporate sponsors. Even the parking lots see a cut. Inside, the tournament hums with infinite wheels of commerce. Coaches talk in thousands. Players whisper about break-even versus profit. Journalists debate long-term value. Officials balance budgets and legacy. It's money in the mud for everyone but the players. And behind that glamour lies a brutal grind for qualifiers and journeymen. Picture a 24-year-old qualifier who spends $30,000 in travel and expenses, draws a seeded 5th-round veteran, and loses in 2 straight sets. Bank account drained, morale battered, even ATP ranking stagnates. Therefore, challenger events in Rome, Geneva, Munich, packed. All chasing points, rhythm, crumb of hope. Every match before Paris feels like survival. Hey, if you're still watching, thank you. This is just our 2nd video on DeuceFlix. We're building this from scratch, fueled by passion. So if you believe in deep tennis storytelling, a like, a comment, or a quick subscribe means the world. And tell us in the comments, which Grand Slam do you think is the hardest? Wimbledon's grass finesse? Australian Open's hard court heat? US Open's lightning pace chaos, or this brutal ballet on clay? Your voice helps us grow and shapes the stories we dig into next. Clay isn't just about strength, it's a mind game in slow motion. Every point must be constructed brick by brick. No cheap winners, only painstaking, patient construction. French crowds? Loud, opinionated. They shout, they buzz, they send energy, and sometimes venom. One mishit in a clutch moment, they let you hear about it. And then there's history. Scandalous line calls, 5-hour epic marathons, random collapses under the sun. The red dust gets into everything, your socks, your lungs, your brain. With legs failing, the mind must bear the load. But when the mind cracks first, that's when Roland Garros truly breaks you. You can see it in their eyes during changeovers. They're not just sweating. They're second-guessing everything. Their training, their nutrition, their game plan. Doubt is the deadliest opponent here. Some players aren't just good on clay, they're clay. Rafael Nadal, 14 titles, nearly 97% win rate. A dynasty carved in crimson dust. His footwork, mental edge, his clay court DNA. But even he faltered. Robin Soderling shocked Nadal in 2009, a seismic upset that stunned the tennis world. Later in 2015, Wawrinka bulldozed Djokovic, another reminder that clay levies no quarter. On the women's side, Justine Henin, a ballerina with the strength of a boxer, shattered expectations with grace and precision. Chris Evert? Magnificent. 7 titles, the queen of clay. Iga Świątek? Early in her reign, already riding a dynasty. Even Serena Williams, arguably the greatest athlete of her generation, found Roland Garros a unique challenge. She conquered it, only after monumental effort. Here greatness is forged and often fractured. Plenty walk in giants, some emerge broken. But the ones who succeed? They etch their names onto clay and onto history. Yet still, through every match, every iconic rally, one question hangs over the stadium. Who was Roland Garros? The name is everywhere on walls, on banners, in every broadcast intro. You'd assume he was a tennis giant, or the tournament's founder. Perhaps a legendary French champion, none of the above, and he was something else entirely. A man who looked to the sky and decided he belonged in it. Roland Garros was born in 1888 in Saint-Denis on Réunion Island, far from mainland France. The remote volcanic paradise shaped his spirit, raw, adventurous, fearless. As a young engineer in Paris, Garros fell in love with machines, propellers, speed. Then he translated that into passion for flight. By the early 1910s, he was sharing the skies with the pioneers. And in 1913, he did the first ever non-stop flight across the Mediterranean, from Fréjus to Bizerte. Open cockpit, no navigation aids, little fuel, pure audacity. He didn't pursue fame. He chased altitude. He chased freedom. Then World War I erupted, and Garros joined the fight. He became one of France's earliest fighter pilots and mechanical innovators. Collaborating with engineer Raymond Saulnier, he pioneered the first synchronized machine gun system that fired through the propeller arc without destroying the blades. Game-changing technology. In dogfights over the Western Front, Garros became legendary and targeted. He was shot down in 1915, captured by the Germans, but he escaped captivity, returned to combat. And on October 5, 1918, just weeks before the war ended, he was shot down again. This time, he died at the age of 30. Pilot, patriot, revolutionary, never a tennis player. In 1927, the French Davis Cup team pulled off a stunning upset over the U.S. France needed a grand stage for the return match, and quickly built a new stadium. Émile Lezieux, president of Stade Francais and Garros' schoolmate, had one condition. Name it after Roland Garros. To honor courage, to immortalize innovation, to pay tribute to a friend who dared to fly above fear. And so, in 1928, Stade Roland Garros opened its gates, bearing the name of a man who never swung a racket, but whose spirit soared. Ever since, under that roof and open sky, generation after generation of players have competed, not only for trophies, but in homage to the legacy of risk, reinvention, and resilience. So next time you hear it, welcome to Roland Garros. This isn't just a tennis tournament, it's a tribute. To flight, to risk, to a man who never played the sport, but whose courage defines its hardest stage. Roland Garros didn't master clay. He conquered the sky. And maybe that's the most fitting legacy of all. What surprised you the most? Did you already know Roland Garros was a pilot, not a player? Share your wildest tennis fact in the comments. Tell us, which Grand Slam do you think is the toughest? If you're craving more deep cinematic tennis storytelling, drop a like, smash that subscribe, and stay with DeuceFlix. We're not just talking tennis, we're telling its soul. And this match, it's only just begun.